Greetings, adventurers. I invite you to an evening of storytelling, for I have in my possession the tales of the four who ventured to the land of Sol. The human, the halfling, the tabaxi, and the owlin. Whatever personal reasons to which they traveled to this land, whatever they found, changed their lives forever. Within these pages are tales of sadness, triumph, and most importantly, adventure. I do hope you enjoy these tales. Come, join me around this campfire, and let us dive into these pages together.
Welcome to episode 13. I'm joined with the usual gang of Velvet, Cassinity, Ferrari, and Jackson. Everyone say hello.
Hello.
So, where we left off last time was Ferrari and Jackson were in Grandma Doris's plate, apparently. In old Grandma Doris's house. You had just uncovered her letter informing you that she's waiting you in the Feywild. Cassinity, you are at the tavern, hard at work, providing food and drink for those in need, and Velvet is off skulking about, speaking to fellow thieves and whatnot to set up trade routes. So what we'll do is, we'll start with Jackson and Ferrari. What are you two doing at this moment in time, after reading that letter?
I think Jackson's definitely like trying to comfort Rory a little bit. He kind of can tell that she's getting worked up, and just kind of like looks at her and, well, look, we gotta have clear heads about this and go find the others. They should know about this, and maybe they'll have some ideas on how we should go about all this. This definitely changes things.
I guess the one positive is if I go to the Feywild, these fucking runes might be able to go away.
Jackson sort of
swore.
Jackson shrugs, and kind of thinks that he's never had any interactions with any other planes other than his own, I'd imagine.
I will say this to individually all of you one at a time, of like how familiar you are with the Feywild. Jackson, you know of it. You're an adventurer and explorer. You've met a few creatures that come from the Feywild, and you've shared stories. You have been there once or twice, merely on a visit, not a job, but to really just kind of understand what this place is like. You know Sparky has a little bit of a fear of the Feywild, as things don't really make sense there. Things are unnatural, to say the least, to him. Cassinity, you are a little familiar with the Feywild. In your travelling of gathering various herbs and spices for cooking, you know there are some very sought-after ingredients that come from the Feywild that you use in dishes. Ferrari, you know very little. Your exposure to the wilderness and not really being in civilized life has kind of kept the Feywild as more of a fairy tale to you. And for Velvet, you know absolutely nothing. The Feywild is a word you've heard people say, but you've never really questioned it. You've had far greater things to worry yourself with, rather than the Feywild.
Velvet probably assumed that was just like a place where Fae lived in the wild.
Yeah.
It's like on this just
totally
some
to your
forest
guys'
somewhere.
Interpretation. But going forward, Jackson Ferrari. What's happening? What's popping?
At this point, he's kind of like itching a little bit to get out. He's like, let's go back to where we're staying, and hopefully we'll find the others there, and we can get some rest and figure out what to do.
Rest will be great.
So, you step out of Grandma Doris's house. Like you said, it is later. The sun is definitely down. The lanterns within the city are lit. The garden adventurers that you've helped gather, Jackson, are at work. The town feels safer with your guys' presence here and the work that you've been putting in while you've been here. And I would assume you'll head to the tavern knowing Cassinity's there, and probably Velvet is skulking about speaking to some shady dealers inside the tavern.
Yeah, that's where I'd be going at least.
Cassinity, you've been hard at work all day and late into the evening, putting as much food and drink in these people's bellies as you can. Supplies are sort of dwindling, but that's because you're feeding a town. And Velvet, you're sat at the corner booth where you met your, I will say, friend for now, as you know him, your huntsman friend who helped you in one of the fights with the cult not too long ago.
Him.
You're currently sat in the booth alone, having food that Cassinities have provided, and you're joined by Vori and Jackson and Cassinity. Seeing them, you hurry over, pass the work over to some people that you've been teaching to cook and prepare food, and you're all gathered at the table together.
When you say the huntsman, are you talking about the one that would shoot like the root arrows?
The one that seemed to have a very wider range of various arrows that did different things, and he
Yeah,
wore
okay.
kind of like a cloak out of an elk's skin.
The one we went to a place to find out if he was being kept prisoner there.
Yes.
I'm happy he's alive.
Yeah, it's very nice of him to be alive.
So you're all sat around, and you all immediately clock something is wrong with Jackson and Ferrari. They look a little shook, a little shaken by something.
You guys look like you could use a drink. Is everything okay? And I'm gonna like wave to like one of the other people I've been training to like bring over like 2 drinks for him.
No, it's not okay. We have a issue. He sort of like leans forward on the table a bit. Just that woman we saw with that little baby is gone. Could we say I've taken the note as well, knowing that it had the
Absolutely.
information on it? He just kind of takes the note out, it opens it up, and lets everyone read it.
I'll read the note.
The note says, much like I described to Ferrari and Jackson, this is what happens when you meddle in Grandma Doris's business. I hope to see you in the Feywild. And then signed in what seems to be signature.
I didn't even think that the Feywild was a real place. It was storybooks, not this.
I found some Fey like ingredients before, so I know that at least exists. But now it looks like we have to go find her. Do you guys have any idea of like where we could do that?
As they're talking, Jackson kind of looks at Velvet and is just like, "Do you know anything of the Feywild, Velvet?"
I've heard it mentioned, but I don't know where it is. Or what's
Oh.
there.
Oh boy. Jackson, like, realizing he's the only one who's like had experience actually being there, is like, "Well, I've been there a time or two, but I've never really wandered far enough to really know too much. As far as how to get there, I mean, there's any possible way. Every time I've been there, it was some weird circle of mushrooms that just happened to exist."
Like
But-
the one we once woke up in?
You see, he thinks about it, and he's, yeah, kind of like that. But it's not the same place every time. They just sort of appear and disappear and go about as randomly as anything. But yeah, kind of like that.
I will say to all of you, in the last episode, your Witchlight ticket also sprang to life and told you that the Witchlight Festival was taking place in the city, well, in the town of Ellie's Visage. And to you, Jackson, especially, you know, you can go to the Feywild from Witchlight. It is an option for you to do while when the carnival is packing up, or if you met Fey there that are willing to take you there. But you know, Ellie's Visage is about a week away on cart or on foot.
And we know it lasts for a few weeks at
2
least,
to 3
right?
weeks.
Like,
Yeah.
He kind of like has this revelation as like he remembers. He's like, Witchlight. I haven't gone there personally through the carnival, but I've heard of people who have. Uh, if we go to Witchlight, there's perhaps a way we can get there from there.
Isn't that the weird carnival that I've heard people be excited about?
Apparently, it's quite an experience. I've never been myself, but very whimsical, and they do like to congregate there. It's possible we find a way by just simply going.
Sounds like a place where there's going to be a lot more people than that of people in the city.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, the Fae are... The Fae are just the Fae. They're just like normal people. They can be good to our perception or bad to our perception, but they have their own rule set. They aren't exactly the same. It just... Think of the Feywild as a mirror of our dimension, I'll call it. It's... It looks kind of similar, but it's kind of off at the same time. It's just kind of how the people act as well. I don't know how many of you guys have interacted with Fey beings, but it can be quite, odd, to say it nicely.
Well, as far as I'm aware, I've never interacted with the Fae.
Well, either way, it's the best way to save the child, so I think we should start packing up our things and getting ready to leave as soon as possible.
As Cassanity says this, you know things within this area are quite rough with the cult at the minute. People are being taken, but you also know that you've just dealt a major blow to the cult, taking out what seems to be a very high-ranking member that was in a very powerful position to give them leniency and allow them to operate. I will say this as a DM to you all. You all have the opportunity to continue pursuing the cult at this moment in time, or if you really want to dedicate to going to Ellie's Visage, that is entirely up to you. There will be consequences either way, good and bad. You know, it is a mixed bag, but it's entirely up to you as players to make this decision.
Oh boy.
I think I know where Jackson stands on going to the Feywild at the moment and going to Ellie's Visage that way. But if anyone else overrides him, he's not gonna say no.
Ferrari stands on getting as far away from the cult as physically possible, considering the implications of the runes on her body.
Other than the letter that we are trying to decipher, were we told by any of the leadership to like hang around?
One of the few things you remember is Durr sent you here to help the town of Jordan, which you have within the time you've been here. You've reinforced the garrison, you've put food and drink in these people's bellies, you've taught people to prepare food and look after each other. Velvet has been able to secure trade routes and travel routes for people to get out of the city and get to Seoul or bring food and whatnot to the city. And Ferrari, you kind of did your own thing. It's nothing negative. You just did your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But on your way to Ellie's Visage, you will pass through Seoul. So if there's anybody there you want to talk to, anything you want to organize, that would be the time. But it's entirely up to you as a party of what you want to do.
And Jackson helped get like members of the Adventuring Guild to help with like any fights here.
He has reinforced the garrison with adventurers and people within the city who are capable of learning to fight and to protect.
I would say we did as much as we could here, and we don't know if or when there's going to be another battle. I think we did the best we can, and we could always go back to Durr and let him know, hey, we set up the town to the best of our ability. Unless we become a permanent residence there, this is the best that we can kind of do for them at this moment. Because I think Durr is probably our biggest ally right now. And as long as he approves,
Yeah.
we're honestly leaving to do something good. We're not leaving just for some silly adventure.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, obviously, this individual from the Feywild also has connections to the cult. We may find out information about the cult there just from being there.
So, I will ask, what is your decision as a party?
I vote we should go try to find the child.
As
I
do I.
am Team Child.
I think we made our decision. We're gonna head to.
Yeah.
Okay, so
least
we've
we
got the ready check on screen. Everyone's ready. Let's do it. Okay. So, I will hurry things along just to not make travel and whatnot the majority of this session. But you head to the main gate, passing by various people that you've met within the city. Jackson, you appoint a member of the Adventuring Society who is here as a sort of guard captain or just somebody in charge to help them get organized. Cassinity, you hand over a chef hat to someone you consider a pretty talented cook to prepare food and drink. Velvet, you have helped organize trading and food here. The tavern and the people here are going to be supplied, and trade can kind of resume again within the city and the neighboring tiny villages and the major city of Sol again. Ferrari, again, smile. You
Smile.
good times.
Not really. Not really.
Panic
but
and
smile.
scream, but smile.
Smile.
And you all hitch a ride on a cart back to the city of Sol, which we're going to go back over to the map.
For a second, I
Hello,
thought the walls
Sol.
were on fire. I realized they were just little camps.
After
What happened?
After quite a long travel, you reach back to the city of Sol, all rested. Hand over, we'll say three gold pieces to the cart driver, the coachman, for his time, and you head within the city walls. Is there anybody you would like to speak to, or places you'd like to visit?
Wait, 3 each.
No, just 3 in total.
Oh, I'll pay. And long rest or short rest?
Yes, long rest.
Rory
Um,
wants to go check on Willie and John B.
Same.
Okay.
I will head. Are you gonna head to Dur, vicinity?
Yeah, I'll go to Tur.
Okay. then
Just
I'm
let me-
gonna-
If you go with
Okay.
them, just tell me how Billy is.
Well, I'm gonna go find Rendell and see if he has any advice. I think.
Okay. Well, to the rest of the party, please tell him I send my regards, and I hope he's feeling better.
Of course.
Alright, we will go to Acidity. You hurry over to Dur, who is now at the head of the Guard of Sol. He is giving sort of a speech to the new recruits and whatnot, who is giving... he's giving a speech to some new recruits within the little guard outpost here. Heading in, he sees you. He hands over the speech to someone with I would say, how do I describe this? It's a winged individual who he's speaking to, and he hands over the speech to them, and he walks over to you, slipping off his helmet and greeting you as you walk in.
Hello, Dur.
Cassidy, pleasure. It's been quite a while since we last spoke. How's Jordan and its people?
They're doing much better now. I taught a good number of them how to cook, and I left them with someone who honestly was achieving a lot better. Jackson helped some adventurers work out the barracks and help them become a lot more fortified. Velvet helped them reinforce some trade routes.
Yes, we've had a few wagons already stop by, so I knew something was happening over there. What brings you back to Salsa, sir?
So, at this point, we left Jordan in the best we could, and while we were there, we found out that the child we saved from the library was kidnapped and taken to the Fey Realm.
I see.
And instead of going directly there, I wanted to stop by and just ask if it's okay if we move away from Jordan for a while to pursue this, just to make sure the kid's okay.
You've done as
Bring-
much as
bring it
I
back
could
to life.
ask for the city of Jordan. I appreciate your hard work, and I think on our front, we will to hold for a little while. The cult aren't moving as quick as they used to. We've had no problems here, apart from a few arrests of some fanatics that are stirring trouble. But as for everything, I think you are good for a little while, at the very least, to pursue the child.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure that you know about everything, and before I do want to apologize for not keeping you up to date on the whole library situation, us disappearing for hours.
Your
We
adventuring
kind of got
types
ahead
are
of
all.
ourselves.
I should have expected it from adventurers. You do, once you catch the scent of something, you are like a pack of dogs. But I appreciate regardless of informing me. And where are you heading, if you don't mind me asking?
I believe it's called the Witchlight Festival.
Ah, yes,
Where-
I gave you tickets when things were not as crazy as they were.
We've heard rumors that the festival might allow us a way into the Fey realm, and that's our closest idea of how to even get there.
Well, carnival's got to come from somewhere. It doesn't just manifest out of nowhere. At least I hope not. But I wish you...
Because this is the only dock, right? So either it came from the dock itself, or maybe it
Well,
did.
Ellie's Visage is also on the coast, and from letters that I've seen and people's stories, they also have, not quite like ours, as he gestures over to the lodge dockyard, but they have some form of a shipyard that they have there. But I wish you the best of luck. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. Hopefully not horribly mutated by the Fae, but we shall see.
Now, I'll keep the group safe.
No
And
doubt.
just wondering, what would be the best way to ever contact you if we are adventuring in the more I forget the terms way, but going off without telling anybody, what would be the best way to let you know about our plans?
Honestly, either magical means or letters is your best options. If you're heading to the Feywild, then not even a scrying spell could really find you.
Because all I have is message, but I'm kind of limited by...
I would just have to take your word for what you're doing, and hopefully I'll see you soon within the city of Sol.
Okay.
We do have a few things to deal with here as well.
For Ellie's Visage,
Mhm.
is there anything that you would need delivered there, or something that we can update you guys on when we get back?
I'm not really in contact with a lot of the other guard captains in other holds within this new land, but hopefully soon. I do know they have quite a large guard garrison within the Ellie's Visage. I was tempted to go there when I first came to this land. But apart from that, I don't really know anything. But the quickest way to get to Ellie's Visage would probably be by the boats, as they do have a shipyard, and you could probably catch one here in the city.
Well, if there's any deliveries you need, we could probably do that on the way there.
The guard person that doesn't, but again, we've got plenty of new guilds here in the city that might need something taken.
I'll check with some of them to see if there is anything, but try to stay safe out there.
Likewise. As he says that, he slips on back his helmet. He gets up from his knee that he was taken talking to you, and he heads back over to the guard and takes back over the speech.
Oh, and by my sheet, it actually says I am 3 foot tall.
Yes, he definitely went down to one knee to get to your eye level as best he could, as he is 8 foot something.
Damn.
And you head out of the guardhouse, and I presume,
I'll head into Lily.
yes, in Ellie's direction, and we'll head over to Jackson, who's heading to Rendell, which probably is within the inner city, to speak with the various guilds there in Rendell himself. You head inside that grand hall that you were in not too long ago, actually, and It is still quite the same, a lot messier now. There's a lot more maps and papers all over the tables. People have got quite comfortable here. You see one table is kind of got all different members of guilds over it talking, and Rendell is stood sort of behind them, arms crossed, with just a disappointed look as he's just watching them work and speak for him at times.
Jackson will kind of like go like a long way around to go like up next to him and goes, "You need a break from all this for a little while? I could have some words with you real quick."
Without even acknowledging you, he kind of turns and like takes you by the arm and leads you outside.
I can definitely tell he's like done with listening to all the bureaucratic like nonsense that's going on there, I suppose.
Yes, as I step outside into like the inner wall area, he goes, "I needed an excuse, and you gave me one. How can I help you, Jackson?"
No worries. I just wanted some advice on some issues that are, or we will be dealing with soon.
A question I can actually answer for once. Yes, go ahead.
We were just down in Jordan. I'm sure you've heard of an issue with a hag here in Seoul that was dealt with.
Yes, I was going to go send a few people to investigate it, but I've heard all of the what's the word I'm looking for? Shenanigans that you got yourselves into.
It was quite a bit of shenanigans, yes, but
Quite the tale.
That-
Quite the tale.
I'll say, but that child was taken to Jordan to be looked after, and then we met a woman there. Goes by and he kind of like checks the paper. Grandma Doris, who has seemingly kidnapped the child again and taken off to the Feywild.
If there was ever a hag, to be obvious, it would be someone named Doris.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just want to see if someone else would agree. We're gonna head down to Witchlight, so because I've heard you can access the Feywild there. Do you have any other information on that may be helpful?
I've been to Witchlight, not really been, more have observed it once it was in the old land. If you're from the old land, aren't you, Jackson?
He goes or nods.
I went to observe it once with an old group of friends. I can definitely tell you it looks quite fun. As for the people there, the Fae will be the Fae. They will never really show you their true colours. So it's hard to make a judgment call, to say the least.
Of course. On any other notes, is there anything else the guild needs done down that way while we be down? It's in Ellie's village, or Visage.
I
Sorry.
do have some personal things I would like you to do. The guild obviously needs letters taken to various people, but they'll do that on their own time. But I would like to make contact, personally, with the god of Ellie's Visage. I've heard some good things about their god, though.
It sounds like people I may want to get in contact with myself, to be honest.
Reynold
can
reaches
surely
into
do
his
that.
his breastplate and pulls out his own letter. Take this to whoever's in charge. Let them know that Rendell, and he holds up his fingers in quotation marks, leader of the Adventurers Guild, would like to have correspondence with them.
He kind of takes the letter and chuckles, and yeah, I can do that. And one last thing, have you heard of or seen anyone by the name of Eltrin around? I was told to find him, and I haven't had luck so far.
Elktrin. I'm gonna make a roll for something real quick. First roll of the session. I personally wouldn't know. I would check with the other guilds to be sure.
So that Theodore fella wanted to see him, so maybe check with mages. I have a feeling that might get you
Yes,
somewhere.
Theodore was here a few hours ago, and he gestures. He opens the door and kind of gestures inside, where one of the stools is definitely a little shorter than the others, or a little taller than the others. Sorry, to like support a gnome. He was here not too long ago, but he hurried off back to their. I believe they have a footing already within the city.
Yes, they do have a guild house. I'll call it there. But all right, that's really all. Unless there's anything else you need of me, I should probably. go check on the others.
Unless you could take me with you, then no, I don't need anything myself.
You see, he kind of chuckles and he goes, "I don't know, man. If you find a way to slip away with us, you know, say
Slipped
anything."
away, they might explode, so unfortunately, maybe another time, my friend.
I'm sure you'll find something to do around here that isn't paperwork and whatnot.
You see, he touches an amulet on his chest and goes, "Oh, by the old one, I hope so."
Jackson will nod and kind of looks around and he goes, I think that's all I needed. I'll wish you farewell, and I'm gonna go check in with the rest of my compatriots."
Best of luck, and to you and your friends, I'm sure you'll have good tales to tell me when you get back.
I sure hope so. And he kind of like waves and he'll head off towards where he knows everyone else will be.
With a very, like, clear shudder, he, like, shakes himself down and takes a deep breath and heads back inside to the Grand Hall. And we'll go over to Verore and Velvet.
Yeah.
What are you two up to?
John Beef, where is he?
Beefus.
The last time you were here, I believe Willie was staying. I think he was just taken in by the adventuring society. So what we'll do is I'm gonna make a roll. No. Okay. So you head over to the inner city, where a lot of the people who got displaced during the attack on Sol. And you head towards the market where you met the Tabaxis not too long, quite a while ago now. And outside of the Mages Guild, you do spot Willie with a large backpack and wearing a suit of armor, accompanied with
Hey.
John Beef. He's startled at your shouting. He looks over and he kind of rolls back up a piece of apartment he was holding, and he kind of clunks over to you both.
Willie, you're in armor.
Aye.
What's going on?
Well, I've got to go find him. I've got to find my kids, and hopefully I'll get some work to start putting back up the old inn.
Of course. At least you'll be safe, right?
Aye, I've had military days. I'll say the least.
All right. Oh, a lot has happened.
Aye, it has. You see, Willie looks a little more tired than usual. He's clearly been up a while. His armor, from what you can tell, is really quite old. Sturdy, but old in its design. His pack is almost double his size, and he's carrying it. He's got various weapons attached to the back and himself. And what he was holding, you can spot that it's definitely a map that he's bought. And John Beef is kind of like trailing behind him, flicking his tail as he's following Willie. And you see Willie's quite in a rush, and he goes, "Well, lass, I've got a job, so I've got to skedaddle."
Of course. Let me just say hello to John Beef real quick.
Oh, I don't know why he's following me. I told him to stay at the house, but I suppose not. And Willie kind of like clunks off through the inner city, passing you, Casinity, on the way out.
Willie?
Kind of stops on his heels. "Cass, me boy."
I like your armor.
Yes.
Where are you going?
Oh, on for a job. Got to make some gold and hopefully try and find me boys and get back on my feet.
How much gold do you need?
To rebuild?
Yes.
A few thousand, me boy.
I'll drop him 50 gold.
A very wide smile. "That'll pay for me food."
You know, if you ever need help rebuilding the tavern, I have some experience with that.
You see, the warm smile is still on his face as he hears you speak. He nods. I appreciate your kindness of you and your friends. I really do, but I've got some jobs to run, and hopefully I'll see you soon. I can't stick around too long.
I will say though, this will be very hard to say, but the I assume a hag took the child that we found in the library.
The smile drops.
And-
This place, this new land, it's not welcoming to folks, is it?
And whether it's the cold or the hags working together or just having a habit of taking kids, I don't know where the kids could end up. But right
Well,
now, our best guess is the hag might be. Or the hag could be taking more. Who
Oh,
knows?
you and your friends have got hearts of gold, and you've done a lot for me and my family, and I do hope that you figure this all out and we're able to take it back to the cult one day. But like I said before, I've got to run.
Stay safe.
Aye, and he kind of like moves his backpack onto his shoulders a little bit more comfortably and hurries out onto his first adventure. To Ferrari and Velvet, John Beef just kind of sits in the middle of the street looking up at you. Clearly, almost like with a smug face as he's looking at you both.
As you so smug.
I knew you'd be back.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Oh, fate. Guess, maybe? But how are you both?
I've been better.
I can tell you're positively glowing.
Har har.
Why are you back in Seoul so soon? Anyways.
We must go save a child from the Feywild. We are here to head
rhymes.
to Ellie's village. Visage. Flying?
Yes. I've heard of this place. I haven't been there myself. It's quite a travel for these little legs, and I don't intend on hitching a ride on a boat anytime soon.
Oh, why not? Cat on the seas. Nothing bad
Well,
would happen, I'm sure.
I don't.
Yes, nothing bad, huh?
I don't want to
Well,
be.
rather.
I don't want to end up like you and your friends with, you know, the whole crashing and almost drowning part.
I can't remember if we've ever told you about that.
You don't need to. I know.
That makes sense.
Speaking of,
Mhm.
my runes are progressing.
It's why I said you're positively glowing, dear. Look at you.
I saw the person.
Yeah, just don't open any doors anytime soon. Malgorth has a issue with doors.
Can I at least walk through doors that other people open?
I mean, yourself. Don't open the door if you're requested to open a door. Don't do it. It won't be good for
Okay.
you or anybody around you, in that matter.
So, thank you for that advice.
That one's free. The other ones will cost you.
How much?
Your soul, dear, as he says with a very confident smile.
You're not getting that.
Oh, I guess Malgorth will have to lay claim to it first, and he winks.
Why do you want my soul, John B?
I'm just playing. I don't require any souls. I don't deal in souls or any of that business. I just deal with individuals like your friend Velvet here.
Ah, yes, cats helping cats.
I didn't choose to be a cat. It just kind of happened.
Did you ever consider possibly not being a cat?
Yes, but my kind of squints. My master was a fan of them and decided that I would be a perfect fit for one.
Maybe you should go to the Feywild.
Oh, no. The Infernal and the Fey, we don't get along too well. We both make deals, but we can't really agree on who's better at doing it.
So it's kind of
Why?
like a custody battle.
Less like an Infernal will steal your soul, a Divine will save your soul, and the Fey will do all three.
What's the
All
third?
three.
That's the point. We don't know.
Ah,
Thank you, John Beef, for the information that you gave me.
Of course, anything else I can help you with, dears?
Not really,
No?
unless Velvet. Anything.
Nothing?
that's what I'm
Velvet.
aware.
Nothing? Nothing at all? No questions of power or your pact or your deal? Just going to plod along?
Well, if there's anything you need me to know, then by all means.
Not at this moment in time, but if you've got no questions for me, I'm going to go try and stop a dwarf from killing himself.
Oh yes, get on to that.
And John Beef kind of like takes off after Willie.
Love that little fella.
John Beef is great.
Now, all of you are kind of reconvened within the inner city, and you all spot each other because you are all quite relatively close to the Mages Guild.
That's where I'm going.
Would you guys like all?
Ferrari's waving everyone down.
Would you guys like to meet up and head to the Mages Guild as a party?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
I want to see Theodore.
Okay, you all reconvene at the Mages Guild. You wander inside. The same. I would pull up the map, but I think best we just leave it on solve for now. But you head inside, same environment, the same people. The person is still tinkering with that machine on the outside, on the inside, sorry. And you head into Willie's office, where Willie is definitely in there, stood on top of his stool, working at his desk. The same weird
Willie.
spirit, not Willie, Theodore, is stood on his stool. They're both short, and he got in my brain. Stood on top of his stool with the same ghost creature hanging over him, almost like a protective being, as Theodore is just flipping through pages and working on something, it seems.
Theodore.
Yes?
Jackson kind of step forward and goes, I think we just have some questions for you, if you don't mind. If you're not busy, of course.
No, no questions. No questions. See, he leans up to the ghost creature, leans down, and goes, yes, I have time for questions.
You okay, Theodore?
Of course, just been busy, hard at work, various incantations and spells, and people always asking for scrolls and teleportation and wild magic, it's all everywhere.
Wild magic. Just
yes.
kind of raising my brow. That's a new one. Haven't heard of that before.
Relatively old discovery, but not one of my interests. But it came over my desk a few days ago, and I was speaking to a purple fellow, blue, in between that shade of person, and he introduced me to his studies and his books. We've been hard at work.
Anywhom, the course of our adventures is possibly going to take us to the Feywild. Do you have any information? No.
Yes, I love the Feywild. It's so fun. What do you require? Papers, books, teachings, perhaps a. What do you want?
Advice on how not to get eaten.
I wouldn't mind the book. On the fair.
Let me see if it's here. He begins shuffling through his bookshelves and clambering on them like a weird Spider-Man, crawling up the bookshelf that almost at the top of the ceiling.
As he crawls up, he's just like, and anything on hags if you have anything. That'll
Yes,
be great.
yes, hags. You see, he pulls a book from the shelf. He lets it fall and just thuds into the ground, along with another one. Those should help you with your little. Climbs back down. Exploration into the Feywild. One is of a little survival guide that was written by an old friend of mine called. He blows off the book and gets rid of the dust. Alfora.
Oh.
And the one on hags is of my own personal studies. Do any of you read Sylvan?
Do you have what?
Do any of you know the language Sylvan?
No.
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 I thought
Then you're heading to the Feywild.
Yes.
Interesting.
Not by choice.
Interesting. Sylvan is commonly known as the language of the Fey. All of them speak it.
You have a book for a quick study. I'm quite good at languages.
Learning Sylvan is like trying to play. Have you ever heard of the old game Jenga?
No.
I've heard of it once or twice. Some of the
Children
old-
stack these little cubes of wood in a tower, and you slip them out one at a time, and it all falls. Learning Sylvan is not like playing Jenga, where you will try, you get far, and it all collapses. But what I can do for you is I can offer you a device, more of a testing phase of a device. But if you wish to take it, I would.
I'll take it.
Very good. He pulls open a drawer and pulls out a collection of stones, and he lays them on the table. Now, side effects, I'm not sure, as he looks you very seriously. If you turn pink, don't blame me.
If I turn... Well, it can't be worse than what's already happening to me, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
He hands you
Pink is
all
my favorite color.
these stones, and he goes on to explain, as long as you have these stones in hand, when a creature speaks to you, you'll be able to comprehend their language.
Like, no matter what.
As long as you are holding it within your hand, you are able to understand. What languages do you not understand?
Everything other than common.
I'm going to
uncommon,
speak a
at least,
word in Silver. Now, all of you hold this stone very tightly in your hand.
Varai's gonna hold it.
Jackson
Yeah.
will as well.
Theodore begins speaking in Sylvan to you, and as long as the stone is gripped within your hand, you're capable of understanding what he is saying.
What is he saying?
He's just saying, can you understand me now? Like, sort of just trying to get you to gauge what he's saying to you.
Yes, I can understand you now.
Good. Now, remember, as long as you're holding it, if it's in a pocket or on a charm or anywhere else on your person that isn't your hand, it won't work.
Understood.
Now, I don't know how
Okay.
long it will last for. I don't know how much charge we put within them with the crystals we were able to procure, but hopefully it's long enough for your journey.
Thanks. He kind of turns to everyone, and he like turns to Cassidy as well. As like, did you need anything other than what we have here? I know you're into the magical stuff.
Good talk.
All right. There you go.
But
Very good.
of course, this is a free of charge. You've done a lot for the guild here. You've done various things for me, and I have yet to repay you with something of significant value. Now, I won't be able to replace them if they are broken or stolen or lost. Good luck.
Well, as long as one of us has one, I think we'll be all right.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
before you go on and ask about them, I believe you'll be able to, if you meet a tinkerer or one of great craft of jewelry, you may be able to turn the stone into a ring.
Interesting. That might...
And that will work.
It's on your hand, is it not?
Well, yeah, but you said gripped in my hand, which I assume in the palm.
It's only really, we've not tried it as a ring, but my theories suggest it may be able to be turned into a ring and still work.
Guess
How
I'll
about
have
we
to check that
don't
out.
question the magic man?
Yes, the last one I did, I turned him into a frog. I'm kidding, I don't do that.
Could you turn me into an owl?
You are an owl.
No, I'm an owlin.
Same difference.
Yes,
No,
what she said.
different.
He's asking if you to remove the lid.
Possibly.
Could you turn my arms into wings or just give me wings?
Your arms are wings, dear.
And don't...
Are they?
Jackson's just like,
I've never been able to fly, and she's gonna wave them aggressively.
You're wearing armor, dear.
Mr. Goodberry looks at Jackson just with a smile.
And it's not
Jackson
heavy
is
armor.
looking between everyone at the moment. He's so befuddled by what everyone, including Ferrari, is saying. He's just so confused.
It's not heavy armor. I should be able to fly in it.
Dear, take off the sleeves.
She's gonna remove her sleeve.
Extend your arms
She does.
and grip your fingers. Or feathers. Fingers? Fingers.
What do you mean grip my feathers?
Pull your fingers to your palm and squeeze.
Okay, she does so.
Now, Ferrari, as a DM, I will tell you, owlins do have a sort of flying speed, if I'm correct.
I can confirm.
Straight up, yeah, they have a flying speed. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, you just can't have them.
to avoid imbalance with owlins and flying, I will allow you to use your wings, but to use them, you can't wear anything heavier than medium armor.
Mm-hmm.
In the way I interpret an owlin is you don't have wings on your back like an Aarakocra. Your arms are your wings. So you can't have
Okay.
anything obscuring your wings if you wish to fly.
So my arms are not protected.
They can, sort of, just as long as your flight feathers are able to be used, then that's entirely up to you. You just can't wear heavy armor and fly.
Ferrari's gonna flap her wings, question mark.
Yeah, you feel the wind between your wings, and you have flown before, but you've been through quite a lot. This has been quite a different trip for you. You were a human at one point with skin, and learning to fly. It's not difficult for you. You can't fly in here, obviously. The ceiling's quite low, as a gnome is the resident. But how far is a owlin's fly speed? I think it's 30 feet, is it not?
It is 30 feet, yes.
Yes, so you'll be able to use 30 feet of movement speed, of flight speed, as long as you're not wearing anything heavy armor, and your armor is, we'll say, in quotations, custom fitted for your wings.
Jackson, I remembered how to fly. She just hit her head on the roof.
You see, he smiles and nods. Just, well, that's cool. That'll be useful. Don't know how
No, it
someone
won't.
could forget. What do you? I mean, not here, obviously, but.
But
And you see, he still looks very befuddled as he's speaking. He's just so confused.
to the rest of you, these books, you can have them. I don't have much use for them anymore. My good friend Alvora dropped this off, not here, but back in the old world.
Aurora, is that an owl?
Yes.
Can I meet him?
I don't even think he's alive.
Oh.
Oh.
He gave me this book in the old world many moons ago. He was on a little bit of a journey before he stopped by my old guild hall. He was.
What kind of journey?
I'm gonna mouth old world to Jackson.
What are you What are you trying to get the annotations by that? Are you asking? Are you
Like,
or are you just
old world? Question mark?
he'll just mount and just kind of lean over. Just he means back home, anywhere but here.
I met Alvaro when he was on a travel with looking for his other half, as he put it. He had lost them, and he suspected they were taken to the infernal plane, and he was trying to find a way to get to the infernal plane.
I
Yes.
see. Do you remember who his love was? Did he ever explain who they were?
We had met a few times when they were in proximity to each other, as he holds up his hands and kind of puts two hands together as they were getting closer. Yes, it was a dragonborn.
Let's go! Sorry, for context, character references.
Yes.
But I don't even think the poor boy's alive anymore. He was hell-bent on getting to the hells.
Jackson just nudges Velvet.
But if there's nothing else I can help you with, my friends, I have a little bit of work to do and some meetings to attend within the Grand Hall.
Yes, of course. By the way, Theodore.
Hmm.
I'll still keep an eye. You still wanted me to find Elkrum, correct?
Yes, I had spoken to him quite recently in regards to this wild magic study he was conducting. And
So the fella's purple.
yes, it's purple, blue,
Okay.
kind of in between. He was with a group, a Goliath, I believe a satyr, and a tabaxi, I'm sure. They'd come in from a place in the old world with something with a ship, and it's a while ago, but they had head off to Ellie's Visage or Jordan in that direction in search of a book or a tome. Sorry, a tome.
Interesting. Do you still need me to find him, or is it just sort of?
We had spoken briefly, but I do say I think he forgot to give me the thing he was intending to.
Ah, I see. I'll catch up with him and see if I can retrieve it for you on our way back.
Ah, very good. Well, I wish you best luck on your adventures, and I hope that stone helps and these books are able to educate you a little bit.
One more question.
Ah, yes.
These stones will let us understand any language.
Sort of. Languages within the common understanding of languages: Sylvan, Orcish, Goblin, Draconic, but nothing like deep speech or primordial.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Well-
But will it also let them understand us if we don't speak good language?
It will allow
Did you
you.
just-
It will allow you to speak and understand the language you are trying to speak.
Theodore,
Very
did you
good.
just mention deep speech?
Yes.
Ferrari's gonna speak in deep speech.
He kind of responds, and in my head, deep speech is like Mongolian throat singing. So like you kind of start communicating back and forth in deep speech. Because it's been quite a while since I've met someone of the avian variety to know deep speech.
When was the last time?
Oh, in the old world, many moons ago.
Was it Alvora?
How similar is deep speech to Undercommon? Is it like
Tim, I
of the
think
same kind? Like,
I think deep speech is
Norwegian
like
and-
abyssal.
Sweet.
I think it's close. Let me check. I'll Google this on my phone.
because like he doesn't speak. He speaks Undercommon. Jackson doesn't.
Yes,
speak
deep speech is the language of aberration. So it's like things that are from the far realm.
Yeah, so he's just so. There's not even a little bit of reference he can pick at. He's just
No,
like.
it just sounds like nothing. Unless you can truly understand it, it's nothing.
And it doesn't work with the stone, right? He like
No.
just said it doesn't work with it. Got it.
My friends, I do wish you the best, and I hope you find that little girl.
Thank you.
Yeah. We surely will try.
I have been dwelling on it a little bit since dropped off various things for me. Are you familiar with what hags do with infants, especially female infants?
We got little bits and pieces. We weren't completely.
From my studies and what I know of hags in the book I have given you, hags often try to create what is that noise? There's a dog. It keeps barking. What I know, I'm going to close my window. 1 second.
Jackson looks over to Sparky to see if Sparky's the one doing it. It's just obviously not him. Just
Well, you see, my friends, hags are capable of creating a thing called a hex blood. One they wish to turn into a fellow hag. This only typically happens to the female hex blood.
Oh,
So I don't mean to
That's not
rush you, but you might be on a little bit of a time constraint to find this little girl.
Right.
so, how quick is a boat ride from here to Ellie's Visage?
The boats take about 4 days.
and how long do you think we have?
I can't tell you. I don't know myself.
What about? Okay, so you don't even have like the vaguest of approximations.
Sorry, that's something I can't tell you. I don't really give vague unless it's positive and I know exactly the time.
Fair enough.
Well, then we should be on our way. Jackson like straightens up a
Absolutely.
bit.
Good luck, my friends, and if you ever need aid of the guild, you let me know or one of my compatriots.
Yes.
Sure will. And Jackson immediately like spins on his heel and very quickly exits.
Oh, we all have stones.
Yes, you all
I believe
have the translating stone. You can add a custom item to your inventory, and we'll say you guys waste no more time and head towards the dockyard, where you speak to the shipyard and arrange a boat trip to Ellie's Visage. This will be 10 gold pieces each to board.
That is decent.
Money.
Money.
Uh,
Remember, don't pay with any of your little fellas.
My children.
Yes, your mimic coins. I will say to all of you, you are bored. You find this is much like the vessel you took here. It's built for passengers, and you all have individual rooms to which you can stay in. And that's where we're going
Ferrari's
to take.
gonna
Go on, sir.
Feed her kid.
Okay, very good. Well, that's where we'll take our first break.
Hi there, folks. We do hope you're enjoying the episode thus far, and if you are, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button. It helps much more than you know. Thank you.
We're back. We're back into the session.
We got pulled through the portal.
That's you guys in the boat right now is rocking. Speaking of which, you guys are on the boat towards Ellie's Visage. You can take another long rest if you want. You don't need to because you guys have done fucking nothing.
Ferrari's gonna harass Velvet via like elbowing her and saying, "Hey, you're on it legally this time."
Shut up.
You actually have a ticket, Robert. My goodness. All of you guys have a relatively safe trip. The seas are a little rocky, but nothing what you experienced on your first ever trip to Sol. And we're gonna change the map. You guys ready? New map reveal, top and bottom
new
text.
map reveal.
Top text, bottom text.
It's a vibe.
Oh, I love
Definitely the same
Oh.
vibe as your map. It's definitely one of
so-
your maps.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's very cute.
It is a 4K
It's like
image
Salt
to
but
those
small.
that I'm playing. You guys can zoom all the way in. And it should retain some of its
They're
visual
all good
quality.
little people.
So you make it to Ellie's Visage.
There's even people over here.
From what you can see from the shipyard, the city's not very large. It's relatively new, but it's much like Jordan, where it's got its footing. You are guided in by the lighthouse. You make a quick dock over here at the very top of the map, and you make landfall. Now, getting off and stepping out. Any questions for me?
So it's like again, kind of like Jordan, where it's like small village type of beat. It's not like a.
It's a town that is very quickly becoming a city.
Gotcha.
What does the air smell like?
Salt.
Very good.
Yes. What does the statue? Do we recognize it?
Also, as you guys get off onto the docks and head into the city, seeing the statue, whoever's looking and wish to, make me a history check.
History check.
I will attempt that history check.
I got a
I will
10.
fail that history check. I got a 4.
I got a 17.
Who got higher than a 12?
I did.
What were we rolling?
History check, if you
History.
That. I have a whole history, but oh. What the fancy ass dice, damn. 11.
wish. So, to those that got higher than a 12, you recognize immediately that this is a god that belonged to the old world. This is... Oh, time to go to the Pantheon editor. Edit this out to make me look like I'm prepared.
Edit this out. It's not important.
It'd be funny if you did it.
Exactly.
It would be really funny if you
Listen
didn't
to
edit it
Zach.
out.
Well, listen.
Don't edit it out. Don't edit it out. It would be really funny.
Right. So, to those that got higher than a 12, you recognize this as a god from the old world. The god, Goldrin, the god of the earth and craftsmanship.
Ooh.
Yeah, Jackson will definitely be like, interesting. Don't see a lot of old world gods having statues this fast
Who is
around here. He kind of like thinks and he goes,
Legend check.
God,
I can give you
didn't you
more
just
I can give you more information if you want.
I'll take it, but don't I know enough to answer that question already?
Oh.
I know it. Okay.
Rennie,
Yeah.
Roll me the action.
Can I
Roll me
ask a
the
question?
religion check. Yes, go ahead.
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did John Beef ever like tell me what having him as my patron does?
Yes, but I'll get to that in just a second, though.
All right.
John Beef.
That's a 12 from me.
Okay,
12,
I
then
fucking
I will
love
send you the DM.
Jonathan Beef.
There you go.
Yes.
Ooh,
Okay.
I just remembered. I know his actual name.
He'll turn to everyone. Just Geldrin. Basically, people know him as a god of earth and craftsmanship. Basically, this place here is probably a place of craftsmen and artisans and whatnot. And I imagine if we look around here a bit, they've probably got a lot in the way of farming as well.
Do they? Is I don't know a lot about religion. Is there a god for like the woods?
Probably. There's a god for just about everything.
I don't believe in gods.
Well, there's
I
one
just
right
look
there.
over at you.
Yeah, you look over at Jackson. He literally gets his powers from the gods. He points to Cassidity.
Do you?
Yes.
How often do you pray? Is that like a thing you have to do every day?
Yeah.
I'm going to say,
My-
if you've got a good religion, this is the one that pertained to you.
Okay. Gotcha.
I take care of other people, and that's kind of the way I pray.
Are we a religious focus?
As you're saying that, Jackson, to anyone looking at Jackson, he's pulling out a pocketbook of different, like, world religions. He's, like, flipping through the room.
I follow the goddess Zerlali.
Zero whatty?
She's the goddess of, like, Earth and helping others.
Weird humanoid names.
Jackson, you said you got a little pocketbook, right?
Yeah, he has a little pocketbook, just, like, different
Okay, then...
world religions.
Okay,
It's definitely something he hasn't opened before. Till now, he's just like,
then I'm going to send you this whole document.
Yep.
Great.
But he definitely finds the one he's looking for. And he goes, this one. And he points out Vashar, the god of hunt and wilderness.
Looks weird. Let's go talk to people. I hate people.
Huh? Jackson's just like, that switched very, very fast. Are you okay?
It has been months since I've seen my parents. Since I've lived in the woods. So let's go talk to people. I don't like people.
Wow.
Jackson like rubbing his chin, just okay.
Also, I'm not allowed to open doors, according to John Beef.
Is it
What?
like the rune thing or?
It's the rune thing.
Oh, okay.
So we just have to open it for you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Well, we'll
What?
be safe and not let you open any doors. How about that?
Thank you. Unless we're in the Feywild and I'm separated and put into a hall of mirrors type situation, only instead of mirrors, it's doors.
Let's not let that happen. Anyway, I have also been asked by Rendell to deliver a letter to the head of the guard here. So maybe that's a good place to start.
Yes.
Okay. You all head down the docks, passing by various merchants. As if you zoom into the map, you'll see a little merchant yard right outside the shipyard, much to the dismay of the dock workers there, who clearly are trying to work but are in the way of market. You pass the guard here. You see are wearing green, almost like a sage. Not sage. That sage is purple. Almost like a nettle green. As their uniform, as the one in the guard in Sol have like an orange, they wear a green. Very pristine looking plate armor, Some of them are wearing definitely homemade leather armor. The bows that they're wielding are clearly highly prized. They're very expensive, and like you guessed, Jackson, the craftsmanship here on everything is pristine. They seem to take a lot of pride with their work. And heading through, we'll say you're about here. Here now, if you can see my ping.
Jackson, do you think if I started flying, I would be an unidentified flying object? Do you think I would shoot me down?
And look around. Do I see any other owlins or any other beings with wings around?
Oh, a
that
perception
are,
check.
Wait, can you ping again?
Perception check.
I'll zoomed in. Okay, thanks.
No problem.
That is going to be a 23.
Yeah, you see Kenkus, Aarakocras, and a few owlins within the people here.
All right. He turns back. I don't think so. It seems like there's a few winged people here that maybe fly around.
Actually,
but
let
I
me
don't see
correct
them-
that. Kenkus
no,
don't have wings. That was their curse. They got their wings taken away. So you see owlins and Aarakocras.
Owlins and Aarakocras. Yeah, he just.
Rennie,
few
you just
Aarakocras, a
you
few-
just bullied Kenkus.
That's their law, though. It's tragic.
He looks and he goes, "There's a few Aarakocra, a few owlin around, but I don't see any of them flying. So I mean, I doubt they'd shoot you out of the sky, but they might be a little confused."
Should I fly? I could get a look around, try and see where the guardhouse is.
I mean, do you want to fly?
It's been a while since I've used my wings, and I'm excited to see if I can still soar.
Sort of turns to Velvet and Cassinidae. Just, do either of you have objections?
No.
I just want to find a kid.
We'll find the kid faster if we have eyes in the sky. Goodbye. He's gonna take off.
Jackson was about to turn and give her a thumbs up, but by the time he does, she's already gone, and he's like, "I expected that."
You guys you keep walking down the street, and you kind of turn this corner here, and immediately spot the guardhouse right here.
And look up to see where Ferrari's at. She's
The
just
guardhouse is she's pointing towards the guardhouse. You can see her beak moving, but she's so high up that you can't hear her.
Saturn, can you say what you were going to say? Because I think there'll be a funny edit that the editor can do.
There's a guardhouse. The guardhouse. It's right there. The guardhouse. Look, down there. Look.
You just see her beak moving above you. Not much noise coming back down, and she's quite high up in the air.
Jackson just gives her a thumbs up. Doesn't know what she's saying, but just gives her a thumbs up.
Ferrari's gonna land quite aggressively because this is her first flight in a while.
I would say yes, but you're an owl, and you're one of the quietest predators on the planet, so you thinking you land loud, and to everyone else it's almost silent as she hits the ground.
One of. Aha.
Velvet, Ferrari will eat your liver.
I'll eat Rory. I'm cat.
As you guys turn this corner to the guardhouse, you see a few guard leaving, and the building next door, you see it's much bigger than the other buildings here, and you see finely dressed people coming and going, and to those who are city goers and have spent time within cities, it's probably a place of where, not high society, but people of power go in the city to almost like
a rich people district.
like a mayoral building. And behind it, you see a work yard. If you zoom in, they're currently expanding their walls.
I will head towards the guardhouse then, see if there's anyone.
You
Let's go
are
ahead.
stopped, but not in an aggressive manner. They kind of like stand in front of the door, and he looks you up and down. Business?
Yes, I have a message to deliver to the head of the guard.
On whose behalf, if you don't mind us asking, sir?
Rendell, leader of the Adventuring Society.
Can I see this letter?
Rendell didn't specifically say it was for the guard captain's eyes only. He just said make sure it gets to him, right?
Yes.
Okay, he'll hand it over.
He doesn't open it, but he checks the seal and pulls out a handbook that's inside his chest plate, and he's like looking at all the various seals that people attach to letters. Yeah, seems quite right. Are you an adventurer yourself? As he tucks the thing back into his chest and hands the letter back.
He sort of nods. Yes, sir.
Well, you all seem to be wearing the collars. Well, welcome to the city of Ellie's Visage. The the captain will be... God, I think he's training or he's yelling at somebody. Best of luck.
Jackson sort of nods and goes, "Not my first time I've had to run off someone."
no.
It's
Well, we just got to this town.
Editor, edit this out.
Oh, don't. It's funny.
Carnival. Carnival's coming.
Coming.
Jackson will just not the first time I have to locate someone by excessive amounts of yelling. I'm sure I'll do fine.
Well, best of luck. And they kind of step out of your way and open the door for you, and you head on inside.
Alrighty.
And much to the description of the guard, there is yelling, but it's not angry yelling. It's more like walking into a pub during match night, and they're just in a very good mood. A lot of people clapping and cheering, and you head inside, and you spot immediately who the captain of the guard is. And I'll put in Born From Us, editor, I will send you pictures. As he sees you walk in, he stands up and walks over to you.
It's time for me to play the game. One,
No.
I'm hesitant. But you know.
He walks over to you, sword, kind of like he doesn't have a sheath for something this fucking large. It is a claymore of large proportion.
Smash.
And he lays it, he kind of like puts the tip to the ground and walks up to you. Looking up and looking down, you see his bare nose sort of sniffing towards you as you walk in. Newcomers, pleasure.
Hello.
Yes, just got here a little while ago. It is a pleasure. I do have a letter for you. And he kind of takes the letter out and hands it towards him.
He takes the letter in one hand and kind of like stabs the claymore onto the ground, so when he lets go, it just stands up straight and peels off the seal and reads it. And is like looking at the letter, then up to you as he's talking to you. What brings you to the city?
We were actually here to attend Witchlight. We were told it's somewhere in the area.
Witchlight. That would be the carnival, a little bit of ways out of town. He kind of folds a letter in one hand and again tucks it into his chest plate. It seems to be a common practice here. Folds his arms as the sword is still just stood up straight in the ground. Well, Verendel's vouch for you, so I don't have much to say apart from welcome. Witchlight is... It's not in the city. We don't have room, and we're already busy cooking down enough trees as it is. But down the way, about 2 miles, you'll find Witchlight. There are dozens of carts on the roads. It is backed up as far as the eye can see, and I'm missing half of my guard for this event, so hopefully it's not on for too long.
You said that you couldn't get enough room. Does that mean you've talked to the owners or people there personally?
Less of spoken to. They kind of appeared out of the sky on flying horses and wagons and tried to land in the middle of my city, and I said no.
Seems
Very
extra.
understandable, to be honest.
Yeah, the Fae are persistent, but I don't have the facilities to house such an event, and the people here already have a hard enough time trying to build things than tear things down for space.
That seems extra of the Witchlight people.
It's the Fae, what can you do?
I preferred the woods. Jackson, can we go into the forest? Just
I would advise against that at the moment. Reports and various people's testimony. When the Witchlight is around, the surrounding area and the forest kind of get a little afflicted by the Fae's presence, and things kind of leak out from their little realm into our realm, so I wouldn't go poke around the woods for too long. I don't want to end up like poor Todd yesterday. Poor guy.
what happened to Todd?
Todd was petrified.
That's not good.
It's
But now he's in the temple. We're having healers look at him and decide to unpetrify him. But yes, he was petrified by a creature in the woods that demanded that looked at him, and he looked, and now he's made of stone.
Yeah, let's not
Poor
go there.
Todd.
But if you wish to attend the Witchlight, I'm not going to stop you. People have a good time. If you do see any of my guard there, please send them back. We need people working instead of attending an event.
Understandable, yes. One other question.
Mhm.
I'm looking for a couple fellows that may be here. Apparently, it's a purple man, a Goliath, a satyr, and he said he believed it was a tabaxi. Have anyone appeared recently of that description?
The Goliath and the Tabaxi, yes, they ended up in the jailhouse overnight.
What did they do?
Uh,
Zossi, your husband. What did he do?
they enjoyed the craft ale we have here in the city a little too much, and one of my guard carts was turned over and vandalized.
Ah,
As for the Purple Man, he had some business with some wizards here in the town and the clergy over at the church, and the Tabaxi seemed to have sat on roofs all night. My guard kept an eye on him, but he was up to nothing but good intentions, it seems.
Zossi and her husband went to jail. This is fantastic.
He sort of, Jackson sort of nods and goes, I think that was. Do any of you guys need to ask anything, or are we?
Just want to say, you look magnificent, Captain.
Thank you. I did groom this morning.
Very good. It's been a while since I've preened, but it's not like I can easily get my back feathers.
Well, there are some other owlins in town. Maybe you can help each other. I think that's how that works.
I don't.
No?
Just checking. Do we have to register in the city or anything while we're here, or?
Unless
Are
you
we
intend
free
to
to-
work for some of the guilds here, no registrar is needed.
Oh,
Very
what
well.
guilds are present?
Well, the Artisan Society is here. Artisan Standard, sorry, I always get those names mixed up. The Artisan Standard is here. They've taken up residence in the bakery near the mill. There's a few wizards here. They're over at the temple with the clerics, and a few of your adventuring types. You'll find them in the inn over by the lake in the inner wall.
All right.
Question to any of you: which city? I presume you came from Sol.
Yeah, Seoul. We were in Jordan recently.
Well, I received a letter from the captain of Sol, a Fawn, I believe the name was on the letter.
Oh. So
No.
about that.
Yeah. Can I
How
explain?
much? You can explain, ma'am.
Captain. The original captain of Soul, Thorm, was involved with the cult that's been causing problems recently.
Cult. See, he's got a very
Yes.
confused look on his face. What cult?
There's been an amalgamation of 3 cults of thorns, crowns, and crows. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, we've had no cult activity in the city or outside near villages that we know of. I think that's just a northern thing where you fellas come from.
Yes. Well, she's no longer the captain, and for good reason, because she tried to form a uprising against her own city.
Okay. And who's in charge now?
Der.
Okay.
Goliath man, I think.
Okay.
Giant? I don't know. Very large man.
You see, he takes out his
Goliath.
notebook again and begins writing all the things you're telling him. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you all. The letter from Rendell clears up some questions I had. Welcome to the city, and please don't tip over my wagons. They're already hard enough to make as it is.
I will do that.
So you said a satyr and a Goliath tipped them over.
Yes, they're enjoying some of the craft ales we have here, long into the night, and
Odd company, that is.
they're lovely people. They're just not very lovely when they're over the limit of alcohol.
See, I don't enjoy a drink. I prefer the woods.
Now, a few rules about the city before I let you go. No necromancy within my walls. Okay, we don't like that here.
Yes.
No witchcraft. That involves, how would I explain this? You familiar with wild magic at all?
I literally just heard about it today. So,
Well, if you know anybody who is pertaining to that sort of magic, try not to use it in the city. The last time someone used it in the city, 2 of my guards got turned to chickens, and then they went missing. So,
Oh, that's not good.
yes.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm the only magical person in the group.
Now, if you have any dealings with any of the guilds
Mostly.
here, please sign to the register. As the guard, we do take a little cut from the jobs you take in the city, as we facilitate them staying here, so we need a little bit of money to keep our city alive. As for the less notable guilds, you know, the thieves, if I don't know about it, I don't care. And he gives you a wink.
understood.
Just don't go thieving from the people here. They work hard enough as it is, and we don't need any more pickpockets that need to get thrown in the jail overnight.
This bear is so pog.
Jackson sort of nods and just, well, thank you for the information. It's been very enlightening.
You're welcome. You see, as he grips his sword again to pick it up, as soon as he touches it, along the blade, just as you see in his picture, the blue runes ignite as soon as he grabs it, and he goes back to yelling and cheering with his guardsmen over what seems to be a game of dice and cards.
It's a bingo night, but for the guardhouse.
So, did they mention there was like a mage type guild? I don't think so.
Well, the mages are staying with their temple, in their temple with their healers and stuff.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say,
maybe
would we want to try to get outfitted with more useful items before we go into the carnival?
we could, and also I do need to speak with Elkrin, so he may be there with them. But some more useful items would be appreciated, I guess.
Now, a little context for you all. It took you 4 days to get here, so Witchlight has been going on for a day right now. No, the Witchlight's been going on for 4 days. Sorry, I forgot the time skip. The Witchlight's already been on for 4 days. The mages are staying here, if you can see the map.
Mhm.
The artisan standard are staying here,
Mhm.
and the adventurers are staying here.
And where's the carnival at the moment, or is it on
The carnival is
that road?
this direction.
Okay.
It's not within the city walls.
The artisans, even though I associate with them more, I'm more prone to just going to the temple.
I am down with wherever. I'm just gonna travel with one of you, so that way if there's a door, I don't gotta touch it.
Understood. I will be heading up to the temple as well. If we all just want to head up to the temple together. I mean, if we head up to the temple, maybe they'll have a input on your condition, Ferrari.
I don't know if I want them to know about my condition.
And for Velda,
Well,
I presume you're tagging along.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Okay.
interrupt. Go ahead.
No, it's alright.
On our way.
Temple time.
So, you all step out of the guardhouse and begin heading towards the temple. Can all of you tell me your passive perceptions in Roll20's chat, please? Okay, all of you will see this, and it will make sense to Velvet. Velvet, as you walk around the city, you're just idly scanning buildings and people. And on one of the buildings, I will show you, this one here, behind the blacksmith, is marked with a symbol, which you recognize as in Thieves' Cant. And the symbol to you when you decipher it is a speakeasy, so it is a place for thieves to go and be safe and speak privately. So if you want to stop there at any point, you can. But all of you guys heading into the temple, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Stepping into this temple, it is not like most temples you've been in where it is to one god. Along the walls on either side there are figureheads and stained glass above them to signify which god there are. Now I'm going to go down the document that I just sent to Nathan.
You-
So,
You know what I just found though?
what?
The one you told me isn't on there.
Which one?
The dragon one
That's
that I got
because,
a while ago.
that's because that's something special.
Oh, that's something special. All right,
That god wouldn't be of common worship, if that
common
makes sense.
knowledge. Okay, yeah.
But
Yeah,
within
yeah, yeah.
the walls, we will stop at each one and I will tell you their name and their title. We will start at the top of the document. So, as you step into the temple, it is very peaceful here, very calm. Many candles are lit. The light coming through on the stained glass is making a very nice ambience in here. And the first statue you step in front of is Eldra, the goddess of hope and healing. Across from her is Thalor, the god of wisdom and strategy. Next to him is Kalor, the god of forge and strength. Across from that is Lyra, the goddess of harvest and nature. Then you have Vashar, the god of hunt and wilderness. Nemeros, the goddess of seas and storm. Astra, the goddess of stars and destiny. Morwen, the goddess of shadows and secrets. Goldrin, the god of earth and craftsmanship, as the one that is depicted in the statue. Isara, the goddess of love and community. Lysira, the goddess of physical love and passion. Drakar, the god of battle and adventure. And Zera, the goddess of celebration and community. These are all gods of common worship from the old world, and it is quite the sight to see an entire temple dedicated to the old gods.
I don't know who any of these are.
Has any of them caught your eyes from the group?
Yes,
I completely spaced out for most of that.
there
so
was
no.
2 of them that caught my eyes. The Perth one, and I think it was the second one that would align with my religion.
It was Isara, the goddess of community and love, and Zera, the goddess of celebration and community.
Yes, those 2.
And for you, Velvet, I will tell you the one that probably catches your eye because you're a thief. Is Morwen, the goddess of shadows and secrets.
Oh.
Any for you, Verari, that might have caught your eyes?
The
Wait.
god of hunt.
We have Lyra, the goddess of nature and harvest, and Vashar, the god of hunt and wilderness.
Vashar, because I am in the wilderness. Verari knows the wilderness.
So I will say, as you're looking up at Vashar's statue, it is depicted as a deer-headed man with a very big bow that's like almost twice the size of him, and he's depicted to aiming up into the sky. And on the plaque in common, it reads, Vashar depicted hunting one of the ancient dragons.
Dragon Hunter. Don't let Sparky read this, Jackson.
As they walk by, he definitely holds his hand over his eyes. Just
Rennie,
Yes.
I just checked the faith in my character's thing. Apparently, she already has faith.
I think we gave you
Sure.
one of the basic ones in traditional D&D before I wrote my own pantheon.
Yeah, I have Luxor the Shadow King.
Yes, if you want to change it to this current one, that's up to you.
One of both.
It's because I don't really have the traditional gods in the Born From Us world anymore, as I try to be more homebrew.
Fair. What do you call it? Them?
Nemeros. Or Nemeris, sorry. I'll send you the little bit of information I have for players in your DMs.
Spelled like
I'll-
Nemesis?
I'll just send it to you.
Or-
There you go.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Ferrari's gonna look up at the statue of this deer-headed god and she's gonna say, "Still don't believe in you."
Roll me a religion check.
Religion check.
Ferrari's about to come to God, my dude.
I rolled a natural 20.
With the natural 20, as you say you don't believe in you, The light kind of cascades through the window in a way that kind of illuminates the statue, and for a moment, you smell the wilderness.
These fancy tricks aren't gonna scare me. We're in a temple with magic people.
And to go to Velvet, looking up at the statue of Nemerus. Not Nemerus, that is the Sea and Storms. I'm an idiot.
Oh.
You're okay.
It's
We still
Morwen.
love you.
Morwen is the goddess, the god of shadows. Goddess of shadows. Looking up to Morwen's statue, it is depicted as a slender woman in a cloak and hood, her hands hidden within her sleeves like she's folding her arms. But you see, if you follow up her chest, you see a hand peeking out from the top of her shirt towards her lips, holding a finger up to her lips as in like a hushed motion. And on her plaque, it says depiction of Morwen, the goddess of shadows and secrets.
Hmm.
Wait, what were the two gods I mentioned?
Isara,
Right.
the goddess of
That's
love.
Tara.
I'll send you the little snippet in your DMs. Yes.
In your
Oh.
world, is following multiple gods a good or bad thing?
Yeah, lots of people follow different gods for different purposes in their life. And the other one you follow is Zera. Well, the other one that was in Court Justice was Zera, the goddess of celebration and community. Any others that caught your guys' eyes?
I imagine Jackson would at least have known of Jakar, considering the fact that he's part of the Adventuring Society. That's probably like their patron
Then
god, just in general.
I'll send you Jakar.
Ferrari's just having a stare down with this Bashar.
Hey, if we save the child, I can try to do a coming of age ceremony.
Yeah.
Or raise the child.
When I came of age, my parents took me up to a really tall tree.
Roll me a flat
What
d20.
happened next?
Me?
Yes, please.
Oh no. The flat d20, I rolled a 7.
As you're saying this out loud about coming of age, your parents took you out to the wilderness, you kind of shut your eyes and look back to the memory, and it plays out exactly how it was that day. Apart from you have a feeling of a presence that you were being watched that day, and that's where it ends.
She's gonna glare up at the statue.
Nothing's changed. Just in the nice green and blue light that is cascading through the stained glass behind it.
Do gods watch coming of age ceremonies?
Depends on which one. You can see Jackson definitely was like, he's spoken to people about faith and stuff, but you can tell by the way he's acting in here and stuff that, like, he doesn't particularly follow any of the ones in here, which is kind of strange considering this is most of the, like, known pantheon that most people, like, believe in. He
Well,
just
this-
kind of turns.
This
Okay.
statue's giving me weird vibes. But, like, in a good way.
You see, he kind of looks. He goes, I mean, if anyone was going to be a follower of this individual god, someone like you would fit the bill almost perfectly.
What bill?
Doctor.
You know, like being in the wilderness, hunting things, stuff like that. That's sort of your deal.
And as you guys are walking through this temple having this conversation, you stumble across one of the chambers where you see a statue of a god with his hands up, and you see healers attending to it. And this seems to be Todd, the one who was petrified.
Oh no, Todd.
Aw.
Oh, God.
Have I seen Ultron or anyone in here as I've been walking through? Or is it just
Roll me a investigation check.
investigation? Ooh. Oh boy, Todd. How could you? How could you, Todd?
Deserves better.
Oh, that's a 14 for me.
You're heading through with your compatriots, talking about the old gods and seeing poor Todd frozen and petrified. And you pass a chamber that seems to be where the it's not really leader of the church, but the equivalent of the main pastor would be. And you head inside, and you see him having a conversation with someone in the room. And as you step in, a bright blue light dims away and fades away as he looks at it and goes, "Ah, visitors."
That's sketchy.
Who is he speaking with? Who's the person he's been speaking with, or is it?
You just saw the blue light, and it disappeared as you guys walked into the room.
Oh,
That's suspicious.
Yeah.
hello. Sorry to intrude. I'm looking for someone who I was told might be around here.
Do you have a name?
I believe Eltrin is his name. It's been what I've been told.
You just missed him. He was right. He just took the port. He took the portal here.
He kind of like shakes his head. He just goes, "Okay, do you know where he went?"
He said he was heading to the city of Salt.
Okay, at least I was told to come get him and tell him to go back there. So if he's going back there on his own volition, oh well. Hopefully he gets done what needs done.
Apologies. If I knew, I would have asked him to stay. How can I help you folks? You look, I don't recognize your faces.
Yeah, we're new. We're coming through on the way to Witchlight, and we figured we'd
Of
stop by and get
course.
some.
All are coming
stuff
to
done.
Witchlight, it seems.
Yeah. He kind of looks around and he goes, "Nice place you have here, though. I mean, not very many temples like this."
Goldard provides. He does. He works in a good manner to provide us with the tools and the knowledge of crafting such beautiful places.
One of your statues was giving me weird vibes.
Do tell which one.
That the deer one, the deer head one.
Ah, Visage. The god of hunt. Yes, a very prevalent god within these halls.
It's giving me weird vibes. I said I.
Well, you are a child of the wild, are you not? An owlin, such as yourself.
How did you know that?
You're an owlin, dear. It's physically apparent of what you are.
No, I could be a city woman.
Dear, I've been on this planet for 300 years, and I have
Oh.
only but once seen an owlin born within the walls of a city.
Who was that?
It was several hundred years ago, dear. I don't really remember.
Okay. Who knows? I might be a distant relative of them.
Entirely possible. But I don't think you came here to talk about family history. What brings you to the Witchlight?
So we got tickets months ago, and a child within our care sort of got kidnapped by a lady that wanted us to go to the Fey Realm. And we assumed this would be the quickest way to get there.
That would be a good assumption. The Witchlight has an abundance of Fey that are willing to take those to the Fey Wild, but don't take this in a offensive manner, but you don't seem the Fey Wild types. Clearly, you're adventurers by your colors and your markers, but the Fey Wild is a particular sort of adventure.
The child.
Yeah,
Been there once or twice, just not very long.
I see.
we're
I've
willing to
never
do
been.
whatever we can to save her.
Well, how can a humble servant of this temple help you?
Well, you might be able to help me.
Mhm.
Something happened. I'm not going to be specific. Look, she pulls up her sleeves.
He stands up and walks over, and he's very tall, and he lowers his hood, revealing his elven ears. His statement of being around for hundreds of years kind of makes a little bit more sense now. As he
Yeah.
takes Verari's wing into his hands and traces his fingers up the runes. You didn't strike me as the type for mortal sacrificing.
I didn't strike myself for the type of it either, but when one is thrust into a situation where we need to be blending in and I
Mhm.
think if I didn't do it, we would have been in trouble.
No judgment here, dear. I've been around long enough to see all sorts of people do all sorts of very different things. But it seems you've made quite the deal with I don't recognize these runes. Some form of
don't-
infernal being.
I don't even know what the deal entails.
Well, judging by the progression of this affliction, you've kind of turned yourself into a beacon or a key of sorts for the door.
So I need to stay away from doors.
You see Kay's eyes narrow. What? Stay away from. No. You are a key for a door, not a physical, actual door. A door for the infernal creature to step from its plane into this.
Then what can I do?
Have you been avoiding doors?
Yes.
So he kind of rubs his temples.
I mean, realistically, it wouldn't be that impossible to create it at any door.
Well, you see, dear,
That's a decent assumption.
I presume some form of sacrifice took place, as this is quite some powerful enchantment you have on your body. I'm not well versed in the summoning of an infernal being. I'm just a humble cleric here at the temple, but I would avoid any more sacrifices or cult activities.
That is another reason why we're here, because if we can get to the Feywild, hopefully I'll be away from it.
It certainly would be away from the infernal for a while. They don't mingle, those two.
Oh no.
But as for helping you, that is out of my scope of expertise. I fix afflictions and diseases, not turning oneself into an into an infernal key.
Do you know of anyone who would have the expertise?
Not in the new world, my boy. The old world does definitely, but that sort of expertise comes with time, and the people who came to this new world are, like myself, experienced, but not that experienced.
Let's see.
I don't want. Well, once we're done with this, if I go back to the old world, I'll be able to say hello to my family.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Just don't associate with any cults or whatever this marking is attached to.
I've already hallucinated it.
You will. That will be quite a common occurrence up until the ordeal is fulfilled, or you die or get cured.
Great
What
option.
what would be the best way to cure?
Again, that is out of my expertise.
Theoretically, if she were to die and be revived, would that theoretically
From what I
work?
know of deals with the infernal, the only thing that will really sate them is either your fulfillment, your loophole of escaping such bind, or true death. As long as your soul isn't attached to the agreement, of course.
Oh no, I didn't get the specifics.
Judging by your markings, I'm not quite sure.
Rennie.
Yes.
I don't need to speak, like. I need to audibly speak to talk to John Beef, right?
Did I? Let me check my notes.
John Beef is the beef.
Jonathan Beefus.
No, you just need to concentrate on his name, and you'll be able to telepathically communicate with one another if he has time to answer.
I would like to ask him if he knows of a loophole.
Roll me a flat d20. See if your communion works.
Oh god. Communion wafers. That's a 16.
You send out this message to John Beef, who responds quite quickly. And he responds with, depends on depends on the devil.
Malgorth.
That's a tricky one. Malgorth is persistent and impatient and a child. So,
Damn the shade.
The shade.
Judging by his activity and his cult, you hear a very deep sigh, very childish. I would assume dealing with him candidly. Give him what he really wants, if that makes sense. Kind of tell him what he wants to hear, and maybe you can sweet tooth your way out of the deal with him.
What would that tell?
You know how when a child really wants something, when you take them to the market, and you kind of compromise them and tell you, I'll get it you if you do this, this, and this? I would be able to assist you if we were in person, but it's difficult, so perhaps next time we see each other.
Well, that might be a while.
Yes, I'm currently watching Willie fight a troll with an axe. Don't worry, I'm making sure he's not hurt, but he's wailing on a troll with an axe.
That's... Huh, okay.
He seems very
Back to him.
frustrated. Well, good luck on your
Fair
adventure,
enough.
and that's where you can be
Thank you.
cuts. The clergyman looks you all. Anything else you ask of the humble servant of this temple?
Not from me.
But just to, I know you have all the more commonly practiced faiths here. Is there places of more uncommon worship around?
Uncommon being, I hope you mean legal.
Oh, of course. Just not very well known or have very high amounts of followers.
Do you have an example?
You see, he'll kind of pull out the little amulet on his neck, which has the little symbol of his own like patron deity on it, to let him look at.
Ah, you're talking about this. I see. One moment. And he stands and he heads over to a bookshelf and begins looking through it.
I'm so excited for Malgorth's slander.
I'm not gonna say what Dombey said out loud, by the way, but I'm definitely going to tell, like, I'm gonna tell the party about it, like, especially Ferrari, like, relay what he said.
Very good.
I'm not gonna repeat it, of course, but like, it's gonna be said to the party.
He turns with a book with a crest of a dragon, a shield, and a burning flame in the middle of the shield. You're speaking of Draconis, the Eternal Flame.
Yes, I hadn't got his name till just now. Thank you.
Yes,
Is that
Draconis
is that
is.
a burning shield?
It is. The Eternal Flame atop the shield. This book was written after the ancient dragons and the old gods formed their treaty. They were at odds for quite a while. As you see in our temple, Vishara is depicted slaying an ancient dragon. This was during the first flame between the gods and the dragons.
I'm guessing Sparky's out and this person will
Yeah,
see him.
Sparky is just chilling with us here. I don't think Sparky's like really truly like understand. Sparky's like a little kid. He don't care. He's just taking it to sights.
Draconis, sorry, I don't mean to lecture of gods. Take the book, and I'm sure it'll have everything you need to understand Draconis a little better.
Well, thank you. He'll take the book and just. I'm gonna be honest. I've been asking for quite a while, and no one seems to have had any info on it.
Well, the old gods, and if you mentioned dragon gods, I would have known, but the old gods and dragon gods, it's still a little bit of a difficult time to get the two to coexist. The war between them was quite vicious and caused the first, I believe people refer to it as a calamity.
I see. Well, thank you anyway.
Of
It's been
course.
appreciated.
It is my job as a servant of the temple.
So, this will be a very dumb question, but as a fellow cleric and all that, I work with, or I study under Sir Lally. Would you guys, would you guys have anything for sale to help us in our journey? Because I'm kind of in charge of keeping these folk alive.
For sale, we don't typically sell. We teach and guide those. We don't really have anything for sale. This temple is built by ourselves, off of our own labor. What is it you require?
I always appreciate anything that would give me the ability to protect others better. So
It's called a weapon.
Protect.
I don't really use like
Jackson nudges Velvet again. Just
I don't use physical weapons, but
I can't
I'm more-
offer weapons or shields in that manner, but I can offer potions if you require them.
I'd like that. And would you have any like books to learn how to like make potions?
Yes, we do possess several alchemical teachings. I will gather this for you. Feel free to explore the temple. If you have any questions, please ask my fellow clergyman. But I'll be right back. And he kind of hurries out of the room, leaving you all alone.
And I'm gonna pull out my book, so I would at least be able to like copy things down.
I'm gonna look at Jackson.
yeah, Jackson looks at everyone as he leaves. Just ain't that cool? And he points to the little symbol on the book.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that your last name.
It is, and it's
Yeah.
quite convenient as well. I'm
Maybe-
Ferrari is ruffling Sparky's ears.
Maybe
Oh,
it
yeah,
has something
Sparky's
to do with
having
that.
Well, I have been thinking, and he kind of looks over to Sparky, who's being like, with Ferrari. He goes, I don't know much about creatures, surprisingly, even though I'm a ranger. But he looks at Sparky again. That's supposed to be a drake.
Yeah, it's just small.
Yeah, but drakes don't have wings or horns like that, or
Don't they?
not usually.
I thought.
And I
drakes were
really
just
haven't
dragons.
thought about it until recently when all this weird stuff's been going on, but I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's just kind of weird.
In
That's all.
Draconic, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
He's just
I'm gonna
making
hold.
small
I'm gonna
like
hold-
noises
hold the
at you
stone.
back.
I'm gonna hold the translating stone when she starts saying shit. I was gonna hear you say it.
Sparky doesn't speak back, he makes like pet noises essentially back. Just,
So, if we're only able to hear like the translated version, that wouldn't allow us to like be able to translate the words ourselves, right?
No, I don't think we understand.
Because at that point you're on. Well, I'm saying like
it's magic that's allowing you to hear it as
Yeah.
if you understand it, and
Yeah.
to speak as if you understand it as well.
Yeah,
I
but
was
we
gonna
don't know
say
what.
it'd be cool to like know the word they're still saying, so we can kind of learn over time. Like, oh, that means cat.
If it's something like Draconic or something, I know the like actual pronunciation. You know.
Ferrari's
one
like,
of
who's
us-
a good dog?
As
Wait,
you guys
actually,
are, go on, sorry?
We could do that. Yeah, if someone speaks to me the phrase and then someone doesn't use the crystal, they can write it down and I can translate it for them.
It'd be possible. Yes.
That could be true. That could. Yeah,
So
that could be done. Yeah.
theoretically, we can learn languages, and if we don't know how to spell it, we just kind of do the I forget the term for it, where you
Just like spell
write
out
it out.
sound.
Yeah, we could just
Yeah.
spell it how it sounds. So we could learn it in our free time.
As
you
you
guys-
guys are chatting, sorry. The clergyman walks back in with a crate. The top of the crate removed. He walks in and sets it down with a rattling of glass clinking against each other, and he goes, "Right, I hope this helps. He slides you all of you 2 superior healing potions.
Ooh.
Hey, yo.
And how much for these?
Superior potions?
Like, I'm asking him.
What do you mean? How much?
How much for them?
Yeah.
No, it's a gift from the clergy to you all.
Are you sure these are quite the thing? These aren't just cheap things to make.
Galdor provides, my child. Galdor provides. And the way he's saying that,
Very
you
well.
can kind of presume that this is their normal level of potion here.
Oh, damn!
So,
All right.
Is it 2 or 3?
2. And
Okay.
for those at home, or those who don't know, a superior healing potion is 8d4 plus 8.
It's a lot.
Which is yummy.
So it's 4. It's, I think 12 to. Oh no, 8.
That could, if highest roll, that could
That's
heal me
16
like
to
2 or
40,
3.
I believe.
Yeah, that could almost heal me twice on the highest roll.
He reaches further into the crate and slides you, Cassinity, a book, and it is Galdor's Guide to Everything. And in very little text in like brackets, Alchemist.
Do you need this back as soon as possible, or?
No, my child, you have dozens of copies.
Okay. So I don't have to copy. Cool.
Now, I don't usually hand these sort of things out, but with one of you worshipping or following, sorry, I don't mean to assume, an ancient dragon, I'll give you this. And he slides forward a pendant, very similar to yours, Jackson, but this one, instead of blue, is white.
I would pick it up and like kind of look at it, see if I get any feeling from this pendant or anything.
This pendant has a sleeping spirit inside of it. You know that immediately as a Drake Warden.
Ah.
Now, if one of you possess this and wears it and is connected to it, just like you, Jackson, the awakening can take place. Now, I've had this in my possession a long time. Back to the old world, I brought this with me. My brother, you see, was a Drake Warden, and this was his before he, for lack of a better word, had a misadventure.
I see. Yes. Does seep and tap into us quite a lot.
And it's
In
quite
general.
rare to find one that follows a ancient dragon like yourself. So I hope you find someone, or if you wish to wear it yourself, words are failing me. I hope you find someone who is capable of bestowing such knowledge.
Of course. I'm sure I'll be guided to who this should get to, one way or the other.
And one last thing for you all. I don't have a lot of them to spare, so I just brought the one. And he lifts out a bag. This is a bag of holding.
I have one of those.
I didn't know, but this is a bag of holding. I know you adventuring types are always carrying things around, so I hope this helps.
Do I have one of those?
You have a bag of devouring.
Give it back to devouring. Yeah.
It acts like a bag of holding, but sometimes can take your arm off, so be careful.
Someone else who wants to take that, go ahead.
You see all of this, by the way, the book, the pendant, the potions, it's all homemade, crafted.
Ferrari's gonna hold out her bag of holding like, is this... What is this?
A bag?
But like... I don't want to stick my arm in it because it gets a bit chompy.
Well, yes, and he points to the bag where a bag of devouring is very clearly it has teeth. Like, this thing, it doesn't disguise itself. A bag of devouring is very clearly a bag of devouring.
If I feed it, will it not bite me?
I'm unfamiliar with such things. I've only heard negative things of the bag of devouring.
Then why is it a thing if no one likes it?
It's usually for the more primitive kind, gnolls and goblins, the ones that are a little
Alright. So I'll
riskier.
take the bag of holding and I'm gonna dump this out.
Best of luck. I do hope you have a good time within Ellie's Visage.
Thank you.
He kind of sits down looking at you all. If there's anything else I can help you with, I'd be glad to help. But if not, I do ask for some privacy.
Of course. Thank you once again.
Of course. And may the
And
old
Jackson will
ones
kinda, like,
protect you all on your travels.
nods. He'll go out and step out of the room.
Yeah.
You see Sparky's demeanor has changed as you're carrying this different pendant. He's kind of like sniffing at your hand as you're carrying it and like trying to have a look of what it is.
Yeah, definitely Jackson, like, when we get out to, like, the main area, is like, here you go, you can look at it, and he, like, holds out the pendant.
Kind of like bites it and like puts it into his mouth and like lays it down so you can look at it on the ground. And he kind of like paws at it, and you swear you can hear like a whimper coming from him.
Jack,
Uh,
that's so sad. We need to find someone immediately.
He kind of, like, leads down, he's like, is it boy? What is it?
In Draconic, because he can speak to you, but very primitively because he's a puppy.
Yeah.
It's like all you get is old friend not waking up.
He'll speak back to him in Draconic, just, don't worry, buddy, we'll find someone soon enough. And he kind of picks up the amulet, and at this point, Jackson sort of kind of looks around to the other people, and how does it work with his amulet? Was it like he had the feeling that, like, he belongs to this amulet, or is it just sort of like...
You were given this amulet at a very early age by how do I describe it? Not a family friend, but more of a family acquaintance. Like, you know them, but you're not really close with them. And it was given to
Yeah.
you as like just a gift. And I don't want to spoil it, but whatever happened to you caused this amulet to awaken.
Okay, so when I had that experience,
Yes.
Okay.
Ferrari's on the verge of tears because she heard Sparky and she's like, Jackson, we need to fix this immediately.
He sort of nods, and can he
That's
try
what
to
he
see if he gets the
can't tell.
feeling that this amulet wants to go to anyone here presently?
Roll me a... We'll do religion. Religion check.
Religion check. Okay. 15.
With a 15, there's definitely a pull.
Do I know, like, which pool to wear? Like, did I, like, start to go that direction?
It's more to your group. It's not decided
it's-
who. It's just there's definitely a pull to your compatriots.
Okay. He sort of looks at everyone. He's not gonna say anything yet. Is he sort of like... He's not gonna wear it, but he's gonna, like, tuck it sort of in a pocket, like, in, like, his, like, chest area, like, in a pocket, and just... We'll find one who can, or is supposed to wear this eventually, I'm sure. But for now, we will just see where our travels take us.
And with that, I'm going to ask you all, where would you guys like to go?
Forward.
I vote the carnival.
I mean, does anyone want an upgrade of an equipment before we go? Because this place seems very high quality, and they have a blacksmith.
Ferrari
They
needs to
also-
find a place where she can get a custom fitted clothing so she can access her wings easier.
Do they have a place that makes rings?
Oh yeah.
They probably do. This is an artisan's, like, dream here.
Well, if you
Artisan wet dream.
if you lot want to go do something, I can take the stones and go get ring them. I guess.
Who uses arrows, by the way?
Me. I have arrows. I have a bow.
Do you need, like, more arrows?
I have 20. So like not necessarily. Why?
Well,
But
Why?
this one-
let's also assume if we do get into trouble in the Feywild, we won't be able to buy things there. I mean, we might be able to, but if we need equipment and stuff, let's do it. I'm thinking of getting maybe an upgraded shield or armor, personally, before we go.
I
we
don't
all
know.
have we all have +1, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I have +3.
I think
On
you
what?
bought
Yes.
armor.
Would upgrading something to +2, how expensive would that be? From our knowledge.
From your knowledge, it's quite expensive. Going from 0 to +1, it's about 600 gold.
Oh boy. Yeah. Never
Yeah,
mind.
I'm at 500 right now.
Yeah, I'm not nowhere near.
Whereas, like, I need to go somewhere with someone who can adapt my current armor.
Well,
Well, here would be the place.
yeah, there might be a leather worker or something here that can make those adjustments for you.
Very good. And then we need to get lots of food for my children so they don't gnaw my arm off, as well as my new child, which will be this pouch that they're in, and she like holds it up to her ear, rattles it around a bit.
You do hear
Did
the
we
scuffling
figure
of
out
gold
what-
coins.
Did we figure out what they like to eat? Like, is it meat or is it items?
They eat anything.
Yes, you are very much aware they consume anything. As long as they have something to eat, they don't care.
Hell, I once picked up a spider and threw it in there, and ooh,
Do you want to just put rocks in there?
no. If they're eating, I'm feeding them proper food, not.
Okay, then I'll cook for them. What do you
Thank
think they would like?
I think they would prefer a well-balanced diet because I am a good mother.
And with you all, finally in Ellie's Visage, and a planned set of upgrading your equipment, that's where we're going to bring today's session to a close. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we're going to go through our usual socials, and we'll start with Cassinity. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BNKR.
Their link will be in the description. And Ferrari, where can people find you?
You can mainly find me on Twitch at SaturnBNKR, but you can find me basically anywhere at the same handle. So
Her link will be in the description to our Twitch. Jackson?
Yes, you can find me over at Claw the DM on YouTube.
Fantastic. And Velvet, where can people find you? Officially this time.
On Twitch, just like Saturn, but at velvet_BNKR.
Very good. And as usual, everyone, if you see the video and you're interested in joining the community and possibly being a part of a campaign yourself, you can come to discord.gg/bunkercore. Well, thank you all for watching. Consider hitting the like button. And if you are new, subscribing. And we'll see you for episode
14.
Goodbye, everyone. Everyone scream!
Ah.